Welcome, everybody, to another live edition of Man's Night. I'm your host, Jay. Again, thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this epic podcast right here on this channel of all places. And before I get started, I got my good friend Tammy who's going to come in here and help me do this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please again welcome Tammy to the show. Welcome, Tammy. How you doing? Can you hear me, Tammy? All right, I think she's having connection issues. We'll get her back in here in just a few seconds, and hopefully she'll get that fixed over there where she lives. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. Let's go ahead and get in the chat real quick and say hi to the people that are in here. You know who you are. First off, let's say welcome, Trey. How you doing? Thank you so much for being here, Trey. I appreciate you. And again, as always, I hope you're doing okay in your neck of the woods. As also, my good friend Curtis is here. How's it going, Curtis? Thank you again so much for being here and being a part of this show. I hope you and everybody else in the chat will get educated on tonight's topic. Thank you so much for being here. We have Undertaker 44, which is Joe. A lot of you have seen him before. He's changed his channel name, but nonetheless, it's now Undertaker 44. Welcome, Joe or Undertaker, for being in here and being a part of this show and showing your support. Much appreciated. And of course, I'm streaming on other platforms too as well. So some of the comments that you see in the chat here tonight won't be showing up here. It'll be showing up on the other ones. So it is what it is. But anyways, welcome to them over there too as well. And thank you so much for showing your continued support when it comes to this channel and the stuff related to it. All right, so tonight's Man's Night is going to be what we tried to do on Wednesday. If you guys remember, I tried to conduct the same topic tonight on Wednesday, if some of you tuned in and remembered, but unfortunately on Wednesday, of all things, I ended up having a software issue that ended up causing me not to be able to complete or do my podcast on Wednesday. So that's why we're doing it here tonight on this Friday night on Man's Night. Otherwise, tonight would have been an open night Q&A session that I normally try to do every now and then. But because of Wednesday night's failure, I'm doing it tonight. So Tammy's in here in the chat. She said this: "Hi, everyone. Love and light to all." Absolutely. And of course, you know, we have Orphan Annie. Welcome, Orphan. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate you as always. And it looks like we have Tammy coming back in. Welcome to the show, Tammy. How you doing? Your connection's better?
I don't know.
Well, I can hear you, but you are still a little choppy and cutting out. But hey, you know, as long as you're in here, the attempt is what counts. Thank you so much for being in here. Trey said this real quick before we start: "I have one of Jay's education sticks for educational purposes." Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Man, Trey, you are one funny person, I swear. And Orphan Ann said, "Hey, at Trey, basically welcome in." All right, Orphan, thank you so much for being here. And as you guys know and can see on the title description of tonight's show, we are talking about, you know, obviously the hate and whatnot that's going on in this world. And all of that, you guys can see the thumbnail. You know, we're talking about one world and also one love, which actually technically is true. So that, you know, makes the question asked, you know, what side of the fence are you on? Whose side are you on, hate or love? And obviously, Tammy, me, and all of you in the chat are on the love side of things. But obviously, we need more of it. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first portion of our share screen and the information regarding our topic tonight. And again, thank you, Tammy, for sending me this info that helps these podcasts. I appreciate you. We're going to be showing a video. Go ahead, Tammy.
This video, we have to give props to Redeeming because he sent it to all of us, and it's a wonderful, if you guys will like just really, really absorb what it's about. It's really educational. It's a great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. And yep, I'm going to do this. So Redeeming, some credit goes to him for finding this and putting this up and letting it be part of the show. This is what makes teamwork happen. All right. So thank you guys so much for that info. So let's go ahead and do a share screen. I got to set the settings up, and we'll do that right now. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, on this video tonight. I hope you guys can see it. Tammy, can you see that okay?
Yeah, I can see it okay.
All right, let's go ahead and get the thing started. And this is the whole video, uncut, unedited. And again, all credit and whatnot goes to the channel that put this on called Psych to Go, I guess is a channel name. I hope I said that right. Or Psycho?
Psych to go.
Psych to Go? Okay, nonetheless,
Like psychology.
you know I'm trying. So again, all credit for him for this video for putting it up. Here it is.
Your heart rate and breathing quicken. Your skin feels hot, and all you can do is see red. We've all felt that seething anger bubble up inside us when we think about someone who has wronged us. Maybe it's a friend who betrayed your trust, a colleague who undermined or humiliated you at work, or a family member who hurt you deeply. Hatred is a powerful emotion, but what does it really do to us? Let's take a moment to explore the psychology behind hatred and how it affects us on a deeper level. The poison of resentment. When you hate someone, how often do you find yourself ruminating on what they did to you? How much mental and emotional energy do you spend reliving the pain and anger? It might feel satisfying at first, validating even, but over time, ruminating on your hatred can be corrosive to your mental health. Your brain becomes fixated on the negative experience, unable to let it go. Instead of bringing you closure, it only serves to intensify your negative emotions, and your perspective may become more distorted. You might find it difficult to express joy or find peace as your mind is consumed with thoughts of revenge or retribution.
Absolutely.
Studies have also shown that prolonged anger and resentment can lead to increased stress levels, elevated blood pressure, and weakened immune function. The prison of the past. Hate often stems from unresolved hurt, and when we cling to resentments, we trap ourselves in a cycle of negativity, a prison of our own past. Suddenly, anything and everything that has to do with this person you hate becomes tinted by this bitterness. But here's the truth. You may not have created this prison, but you have the power to set yourself free. Practice forgiveness and acceptance, not for their sake, but for your own peace of mind. Engage in self-care activities that nourish your soul and bring you joy. And don't hesitate to seek support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist. The burden of holding on. If you've ever held a grudge against someone, then you know how heavy hate can be. And the longer we hold on to it, the heavier the burden becomes. It clouds our judgment, colors our interactions with others, and robs us of the joy and freedom we deserve. The loss of empathy. When you hate, it can make you feel angry, rude, envious, prideful, and selfish. These emotions can make it harder for you to feel more empathy, not just for the person who wronged you, but for others too. Your capacity for understanding and compassion shrinks as your resentment grows. You might find it difficult to relate to the struggles of friends or family members because your own grievances loom so large in your mind. Now, understanding why someone hurt you doesn't justify their actions, but it might bring you some peace, closure, and clarity. Hurt people, after all. And when we hate, that bitterness stops being about what someone did to us and more about what we're doing to ourselves. The power of forgiveness. Now, we're not saying that forgiveness is easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest things we can do, especially when we've been deeply wounded. But forgiveness isn't about excusing the other person's actions or pretending like nothing happened. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of hatred and reclaiming your own power. Forgiveness is often touted as the antidote to hate, and for good reason. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the grip of negative emotions that can otherwise consume us. Psychologists like Jeremy Sutton and Lauren Tasson have found that it reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as improves relationships and overall well-being. By choosing forgiveness, we pave the way for healing, growth, and freedom. The path to empowerment. So, what can you do if you're struggling with hatred and resentment? Ultimately, the journey from hate to love is a personal one that requires you to look inside yourself, open your mind, and let go of your ego. It's not always easy, and it certainly isn't quick, but it's worth every step of the way. In the words of Haruki Murakami, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So take a moment to reflect. What kind of life do you want to lead? One filled with bitterness and resentment, or one filled with love and resilience? Your journey toward healing begins with a single step, a choice to let go of the hatred that binds you and embrace the freedom that forgiveness brings. If you found this video valuable, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our community for more insightful content, like 9 uncomfortable signs you're healing emotionally. And do you have an emotional wound? Here are 7 signs. Don't forget to share your insights in the comments down below.
There you guys go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to come back into the chat. That was absolutely amazing, Tammy and Redeemin. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. Tammy, what's your thoughts on that? And the people in the chat.
Well, this can be applied to more than just other people. We can apply these same principles to ourselves, because I think a lot of incarcerated people that I've met over the years,
Correct.
being that I have not had that experience, I cannot sit there and go, well, I can relate, or I don't know. I know what I see other people suffering through, and I think that a lot of incarcerated people continue to punish themselves after their incarceration, because they still hold on to a lot of that resentment and anger that they built up even in there. They went in with it, but then they built upon it because of the horrific treatment that they get in there.
Right.
So please remember to be kind to yourselves as well.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
would be my message.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly said, Tammy. And I probably couldn't have you said it any better. I appreciate that, because again, and I know you say you can't relate. And look, in a sense, I can relate. Obviously, I've had a very interesting childhood life, preteen life, growing up life as a whole. And, it took a lot, like multiple times. It should have been only once, but it took multiple times to try to forgive certain individual, but I did. But look what happened in the process. And look at me today, because I forgave him and he did it again. You see what I'm saying? So it's even harder now to forgive him again when I've done it multiple times. But I have, like that video just said, I still have to find it in me somewhere to forgive that said person, because again, it's for me, not him. Obviously, he doesn't understand that. Thank you, Tammy, for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
With that being said, let's go ahead and get in here. Redeemin said this: unsolved anger and trauma can often mess up people's social skills. Yeah. Interactions, relationships, and social views on what's normal and decent or not, especially in a day, in this day and age. Absolutely. Redeemin, spot on. Thank you so much for your comment, my friend. I appreciate you. Orphan Annie said this: it was obvious to me Brushy Mountain, along with all the prisons, were designed to cause suffering. Yes, and if you guys missed it, what Orphan is talking about, and she sent the link there. If you guys can copy that link, because if I do it, I'll mess up the live in my show. So if you guys can copy that link, save it, and send to me later, I greatly appreciate it. The link again, guys, is right here. She's talking about a prison she went and visited. It's an abandoned prison, and if I would have known that, I would have loved to went with her on that, just to get my idea and some video of that area. I think that would have been an awesome program/show to do. But nonetheless, I'm definitely want to go to an abandoned prison out here to kind of show you guys what that's like and what they look like inside, even though a lot of us, some of us anyways, don't know what it looks like. So there's that link. Save that link, guys, and send it to me later if you can, please. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Orphan, for that info. And then, Curtis got in here and said that was a good job by my friend Redeemin. Absolutely, I agree. Thank you, Curtis, for that comment. Trey said this: judges don't know what the BOP gets away with. Absolutely. no politician, including our judges and whatnot, know what actually happens inside of our prisons. That's why I say we all need to take at least some of our judges, if not all of our politicians, and let them go in there and check out their prisons.
I don't mean go in there. They need to go and stay. They need a weekend or a week in there.
I agree.
They need
I
to sit
100% agree.
solitary. They need to know exactly how solitary is issued as punishment.
hmm
This stuff. I mean, go through the process. It's like we're like at 72, and yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Why?
Yeah.
Why is the ruling and they're not allowed to talk to their family?
But again, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that's my main goal. I think every politician should visit a prison for a certain time bracket and check out the inhumane conditions. I really do. Period.
And I just
yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Say that again, Tammy. Yeah, oh, absolutely. I agree. Yeah. All right, so moving on. That was a quick video that I wanted to share with you guys to show you, what we should be doing and how we should do it and all that fun jazz when it comes to this, hate and everything else that's going on in this world. Obviously, we need more love and get rid of all the hate that we got going on in this country. But then yet, look where some of this hate's coming from. Look what's going on in our country. Look who's running our country. So enough said there. But with that being said, let's go ahead and do a share screen again and get into the topics tonight where, I share the data to back up what I'm saying. So again, here it is. Right. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. All right, Tammy, can you see this on the screen by chance?
Yeah. My other phone. So I want to.
Okay, it don't matter. Whatever is best or easy for all of us.
Okay. So great science. This article kind of old. It says 8 ways to stand up to hate. Hate crimes and hateful language are on the rise. What are you going to do about it? In that statement alone just says so much. What are you going to do as an individual? What are you going to do, Jay? What am I going to do? What is each individual, our village, our tribes, what are we going to do? Mm-hmm. So there's no denying it anymore. Hatred is erupting all over the United States. After having long simmered beneath the social surface, in less than 1 week, the Southern Poverty Law Center has tallied more than 400 incidents of hateful intimidation and harassment. And millions of Americans are being victims of physical assaults, possibly thanks to some very threatening and violent language coming from the very top of our society. This is in 2016. Can you imagine? In the face of such, yeah, it's crazy. In the face of such upheaval, how can you prepare to protect those who are being threatened? To stand up for the worth and dignity of every person, even when it's uncomfortable. It starts with putting yourself for such a for the consequences of it. For everyone active, every hero daily life begins with one's mind, says psychologist Philip Zimbardo, author of The Lucifer Effect and founder of the Heroic Imagination Project.
Imagine that.
That's something to check out. Heroic Imagination Project. While few of us will witness an actual hate crime, anyone can be confronted with hateful language at work, on the street, or even over Thanksgiving dinner. Here are some strategies that you can use to turn your mind toward everyday heroism and to act in ways that reflect that commitment. So number 1 is educate yourself. So most of us would like to believe that when we see someone being attacked or harassed, we quickly rush to their aid. But while heroic intervention can certainly arise out of empathy for others, it's more likely to be successful when you've added some nuts and bolts. So each one of these you can go back and read really well, but I'll try and hit on the highlights. So if you don't feel confident in your ability to protect someone, seek out a course or workshop that teaches how to engage in effective bystander intervention. 2, be the first to speak. Classic social psychology studies reveal that people typically look to those around them for cues on how to behave. So, for example, if you're standing out there and there's a bunch of stuff going on, a lot of people will look to see who's going to be the first one to step up and go, hey, that's not right to call that person blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
What are you doing? So we have to be the ones to get up and sometimes say, hey, man, chill out. That's not right. Or don't say that. It's not appropriate. We have to be the ones. Number 3, practice being conspicuous. To defend someone who's being threatened, you have to be willing to heed your own conscience above all else, but resisting social pressure takes serious guts, and it helps to do these. So basically, practice, practice, practice. You know, it's not going to be comfortable somebody in a bad situation. I've been there. It is not a comfortable feeling to have to stand in a group of people and hope that the rest of the group follows with what you're doing.
Correct.
But you have to just, guys, have faith in yourself and your God or
You
your
gotta
higher power.
basically know your limit.
Yeah, you know your higher power is there with you. So number 4, ask for help when you need it. To stand up for someone in trouble, you'll have to push past your own fear-making waves. It's still important to strike a balance between courage and caution. So definitely you don't want to put yourself in danger as a last resort, only as a last resort. So after you've ruled out all other possible reasonable options, if the harasser is waving a gun, threatening to shoot, rushing into fray, probably isn't the best idea. That's kind of goes with that whole Uvalde shooting of all those kids and teachers. It only would have taken one heroic effort to stop that, to just rush him and be done with it. Sometimes
Correct.
you just you're on the plane. You 9/11 attacks, the Pennsylvania plane. So number 5, find a heroic role model. To fortify yourself with the challenge of upholding your principles helps to look up to someone who has faced this kind of challenge and managed to act. Might be someone in your family from a war-torn country, or civil rights who racist segregation laws. Having a role model can boost your heroic potential in the real world. Many Holocaust rescuers, for instance, have told researchers about selfless people in their own lives who inspired them to help other people in danger. So that's another thing, finding somebody. It could be somebody on a page, or it could be a neighborhood cop you looked up to that did the right thing all the time, even though others weren't.
Correct.
It could be anything, a teacher, anybody. Number 6, make connections with people different from you. Interacting with a wide range of people on a human level can help ensure your future injustices never come to be. 2011 research revealed when intolerant people strike up friendship, I've seen this where people have they were racist and a gang member and all that, and they denounced their gang membership, denounced their ties to, like, say, with the AB group, and became a role model. So, it happens. You can change that if you open yourself up
Yep.
to new things.
Boom.
So number
There you go. Thank
7,
you.
you're welcome. Ask people what they really need. When attackers are targeting people of particular skin color or creed, you have the responsibility to intervene if you believe all humans are valuable and worthy of protection.
There you go.
In this spirit, activists have encouraged people to wear safety pins as an outward signal that they can be relied on to help in the event. Says if you wear safety pins, that's signifying that you are there to help if someone of a minority or color is being racially attacked. If you have a safety pin on your clothing, like even if it's at the edge of the bottom of your they see that, they know that it's psychological truth. No matter how rock solid your values are, you'll have to guard against the tendency to overlook them in the moment. In the famous Good Samaritan experiment conducted at Princeton University, people who were in a hurry to get somewhere were far less likely to stop and help a distressed victim. And multiple people are each individual is likely to help. Psychologists, the bystander, rooted in our very human tendency to assume someone will act.
Yes.
Know, guys, I mean, I can't stress this enough. If not you, then who? If you can put that in your head, that little slogan, if not who, then you.
Yeah.
Because if we don't act, if we're not that one person in the group to start, if just one of us will stand up, then the others will follow. People.
Yeah, absolutely.
Single time. It's something. It's the right thing, and just don't forget have workshops and all kinds of stuff. I think that's a really cool thing.
Okay. All right. So, did you want me to get back up on the screen, Tammy, or did you want me to do the chat for a second?
Whichever. If you want to do the chat, there might be some interesting things that everybody has to say.
Okay. I have to figure out where I left off. Let's see. I'll start here, I guess. Orphan Annie said this earlier about that prison. I know it's kind of off topic, but I want to put it up there anyways in respect of Orphan. She said this. It is located in Petros, Tennessee. Wow, interesting. I plan on taking a trip out there, believe it or not, Orphan. Email me so we can collab back and forth, and we'll go from there. But this is interesting. I want to definitely see if I can get my happy butt over there and check out that place if it's not too far over there. But anyways, moving on. I will gladly escort you to Brushy Mountain Prison if you ever make it this way. I saw the inhumane conditions without the prisoners. Wow. Yeah, and it gives you some great insight on what happens in there. Thank you, Orphan, for that. And she also added this. I think all youth should take a field trip to a prison and be taught about laws and justice. Absolutely. And I got 2 kids, and I think it would be very fitting to educate them too. Not saying they're bad kids. I love my kids if they're watching, by the way. I'm not bad-mouthing them or saying anything negative. I'm just saying that, today's kids, today's youth needs a lot of education because they're just highly disrespectful. My kids aren't, but I'm just saying. Anyways, I think all youth should take a field trip to a prison and be taught about laws and justice. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Orphan, for that. Curtis said the punishment should be humane, or it should be inhumane. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, Curtis. I had a brain fart there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Trey said this, guys. Judges recommend prisons for programs, even though we don't see any of them hardly, close to home, and assume it's orderly. BOP ignore judges and send you elsewhere. They foster racial hate, repress and impede law work, and skimp on healthcare. Absolutely. And Tammy, you're going through the healthcare issue right now. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Trey.
It's kind of replaying through my head. Recently, it's really been bothering me. And I don't even think Jay and I about this, but oh well, you're up for parole in 10 years or whatever I want to tell you. You're sitting there and you're going, the person's in there, your loved one, your husband, your wife, whoever, and it's not that cut and dry. It's not black and white like that, because once you become the ward of the state for the prison bureau, prisons own you. They decide when they want to let you out, and that's the whole thing. And they decide where they're sending you. Like in Texas, they move them around a lot. Like you'll move, you know, they'll move. Like unless you apply for like a hard, anybody, but if one gets put close to where you live, it's hell. It takes a long time. Nothing gets done quickly at all. And Rick has been waiting for medical for over 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah. So, guys, listen, in the chat, if you heard Tammy's side of the story there, if I can get all of you to at least, I know, even though it doesn't seem like it does anything, but there, man, believe it or not, guys, there's power in prayer. If you guys believe in that kind of stuff, I do. I believe in self-care. I believe in, positivity. I have a heart and I'm going to show it. So nonetheless, guys, please pray for Tammy's husband. He still has not seen medical or taking care of any issues there. So for me to try to wrap this around my head, I just don't understand why prisons are so slow on trying to get things done in there. It's amazing. Their excuse they use, we're low staffed, or it's not in our budget, or we don't have this, or we don't have that. That's not my problem, nor is it Tammy's problem. The problem is get off your butt, do what we pay you to do, and take care of our locked up loved ones. Period.
If you can't handle it, you shouldn't be incarcerating people over stuff that, like hearsay laws, that, hey, so-and-so did this to me, but I can't prove it, but they did it because I said so.
Right.
I mean, quit enslaving people if you can't handle the job of maintaining the prisons in the right way, in humane, proper care of people that are entrusted in your care to do their time. Their punishment is being there. Not being
correct.
Not harassing, because they even not. I can't even tell you. I wish I would have taken a screenshot of it. So while I'm in one of the groups, I'll just tell y'all real quick. So while I was in one of the groups for where my husband's at, there was just started crying. And, did anybody else on O? So I thought sewage is. Does anybody have a loved one that sewage is dripping on them? So
what in the world?
There was sewage dripping from the ceiling above onto him, onto the bed, saturating the bed, and he put out it in an I-60, what they call an I-60, then he isolated to get maintenance to do something about it. Sold him. They weren't so nice to him. He got harassed, he got bullied, and then she called the warden. She put in a complaint with the warden directly, and then he got more trouble, And then he got told, well, maintenance can't find the issue. They're trying to get it remedied, but you have a choice. You can go back to the cell or you can go to SEG. So the shoe or back to your cell to have waste drip on you so you can get sick.
Was there a grievance written up on that?
Yeah. And that's why she escalated it to the warden after the grievance. I'm working on it. I'm working on that specific issue.
Well,
Really terrible.
well, again, and Tammy, thank you so much for that information. I always appreciate your insight. You're a kind person for doing this, so thank you anyways, nonetheless. But keep in mind, guys, that's just obviously one prison. We're dealing with a buttload of other issues in basically dang near almost every state. Mostly the southern states. And I belong to a lot of different, sites and stuff that deal with what's currently going on. And if you guys watched my short that I just posted, I would say today or yesterday, I can't remember which one it was, about the no AC issue. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this before. When I say inhumane, that goes for everything under the 8th Amendment to the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, that constitutes that. So again, what I mean by that is this. Keep it in mind, take notes if you need to, and understand that if there is a heat-related issue in the southern states, like Tammy said, also sewer problems, that's 8th Amendment, non-medical or not getting accurate medical, 8th Amendment, and so forth and yada yada. You guys get the idea. So if there's something inhumane that goes beyond what prisons are supposed to do, then it becomes a major federal lawsuit. And each and every one of you guys out there that have a locked up loved one in prison can go after that if you know what you're doing. So again, file your grievances, get the paperwork rolling, make a paper trail, save your evidence, file what is called a 1983 packet through your law library, and get stuff rolling. Or these guys, the government as a whole, DLC as a whole, is going to continue to violate your locked up loved one's rights. Get the ball rolling, educate them. There's actually a pamphlet that you can buy or download or something along those lines or anything, and you can send it in and give this education to them so they know how to file a lawsuit themselves. It needs to be done, or we're going to be talking about this on these podcasts day in and day out until somebody takes initiative and does it. Those are our rights. Go ahead, Tammy. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I cut you off, actually, and I'm sorry. I just sent you Marcy and Toon's group. They're two members of a huge group of women, and they're one of that two-party lawsuit right now.
Okay.
Post that.
You emailed me?
Can you email it to you? Can you post in the link? And insightful for everybody to watch this video about the heat. Here's the problem with the heat. I was told this, and I agree 100%. Because it's hot right now, we are on it about it because the heat's going on right now. But people
Thank you, Orphan. Absolutely correct. Go ahead, Tammy.
People stop doing it the rest of the year. On top of them all the time, year round, till they resolve the AC unit issues and all of the heating unit issues. This needs to be a priority year round, and we need to stay on top of them, barraging Congress with letters. They need to be so flooded with letters, petitions. I have petitions. I'm going to put a petition out. I'm done. I have letter templates. We'll post them. We'll have to do a show on the heat again, the AC.
I'm gonna have to.
AC and heat, both.
I'm gonna have to.
Both. because in the winter they're freezing.
Yeah.
So because there's no heat. So we need to stay on top of this as a constant vigilant thing year round, guys. It can't just bitch about it and then it goes away bitching, so they forget about it, and then the sessions are going on in Congress and they're passing laws when we could be on their butt about it. Like, look,
Yes.
they need ACs in there now. Let's do it now. What's your excuse? Because see,
They
that's
say
part
it's
of the
not.
staffing issue too.
Tammy, get this, Tammy. They say it's not in the budget.
Yeah, well, Texas doesn't have that damn excuse. They got 85 million to put them in. And get this, the AC units are sitting outside some of the prisons, just sitting there, not hooked up.
Imagine that. Oh, I got to do it now. You got to make me do this now.
Okay.
Look. Imagine that. Gosh.
We could get on so many things, but
Hey, at least I made you laugh.
yes. Do you have the one for the civic education? Can you pull that one up?
Let me do a share screen and we can go through what I have. I think I do. It's up here. We'll go ahead and get that going, and I will conclude our podcast. But Trey said this: you can get time off prison or money for every day in what is that word? RQers. In each instance, it stacks. Okay.
Every day that it accrues, each instant, it
Okay.
stacks.
Okay. Forced to sleep on the floor. Yeah, I've seen that. I was in prison, believe it or not, and people were sleeping on the floor next to the toilet because there's no beds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can testify to that.
And in Texas, they sleep on the floor because because it's concrete and it's got heat to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot in the glass and the metal beds.
Yeah, and get this. Even the toilets that are made out of metal are colder in some circumstances, even in the heat, because I remember sitting on those things, and those things were cold.
Water.
Yeah,
because they're getting the water.
That's the only way you can get cool is by sitting on that dang thing. But
here's a trick. I want to tell you guys. Here's a trick. So if you have a loved one that's suffering,
go ahead. I'll get the share screen going while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, please. So when you have a loved one that's in there, if they are allowed to have fans, then have them tell them to wet their shirt or their pants, wring them out, put them on, and get in front of the fan to get cooled off. But they can also do that with their bed sheet that goes over their plastic mat. They can wet it, wring it out, put it on their mattress, let the fan hit it a little bit, and at least get on that for a little bit of time, maybe 20-30 minutes, get their body temp back down. Because I know in Texas we're doing like anywhere from 110 to 140 degrees in the cells right now. We're hitting triple digits right now.
Oh, absolutely. It was 90 plus today here in my home. So get this. Orphan Annie made a great point, and I wanted to speak on this real quick, and she's absolutely correct. Orphan Annie said this real quick in the comments and I'll move on to what you see on your screen. It says this: due to concrete masonry, units, thermal mass, a prison constructed with concrete blocks holds heat. Absolutely. And I'm going to speak on something else here in just a second. Hold on a second. I lost my spot. Holds heat longer in cool weather and cool in air inside for longer periods, even in the dead of summer. Now, she hit that right on the button. Now, let me say this. Some of our prisons, not all, but I would say a majority of them anyways, especially out here in the Deep South, are made out of porous type material. Porous. Now, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's material that has a lot of holes in it. It's very airy, but it's still, it's stone. I can't remember what it's called, but it sucks the heat. It just
almost like cinder block.
Yeah, kind of like that. But the sun and the heat of the day, it just sucks it like a sponge. That's where the heat comes from and why it's so hot inside of our prisons. It's the prison.
Yeah, and they're killing people. They're murdering people.
And they know
held
this.
Accountable.
They
one
know this.
person dies from the heat, they should be charged criminal neglect for that.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Whoever is running that prison system where those people are dying, those humans, should absolutely be. It should
Yeah.
absolutely 100% be that they get
Absolutely.
charged criminally. 'Cause it's
Tammy,
criminal.
Wanda said hi to you in the chat.
Hi, Wanda. Glad you could make it.
Yeah, she says she misses you. All
I
right.
miss you too. We all miss you. Jay misses you.
Yeah. Hope you're good, Wanda. Give me a buzz if you need to talk or whatever. Anyways, I'm here. So this next page, Tammy, I don't know if do you have this up on your on your device?
I
Okay.
do.
I'll go ahead and do what I can on this. This is coming from the U.S. Department of Justice, Department of Justice. You guys know who this is. Not a big fan of these guys. Anyways, this was sent by Tammy to me. I got to find what the part.
Just basically, I sent it as an overview. It's how to report a hate crime.
Okay.
Learning about hate crime on the and a couple that pop up where you just have the cursor. Report a hate crime. You don't have to click on
Okay.
any of them. I just want everybody to be
right here.
with the site. Yeah.
You want me to hit that?
You don't have to. I was just saying you can highlight the different things that the
perfect.
functionality of what you can do.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you want. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Sorry.
So, ladies and gentlemen, then if on the screen that you guys are seeing, if you guys want to know how to report stuff, here you go. If you have a hate crime and you don't know how to report it, here's your shot. They also help you prevent hate crimes in your community. You can also sign up for hate crimes on a website update. Here it is, proof right in the pudding. Next down the list, learn about hate crimes. Learn which one is which so you can know the difference. Apply for hate crime grant opportunities. Yeah, believe it or not, they have that too. Discover hate crime laws and policies. There you go. All right, I don't know if I have time.
Down to the news and go down to the news and stuff, and you read a couple of these different things that, like one was just on the 4th of June.
Okay, so right here. All right, so let me read this, guys, real quick, and I'll try to move on to something different, but this is all fitting for tonight's show. White supremacist sentence for federal hate crimes for conspiracy targeting Black and Jewish people and desecrating Michigan synagogue with neo-Nazi symbols. See?
And
there's a press release.
What the hell is wrong with people?
See, and again, and then it just, and I'm speechless, and I'm normally never speechless over this.
It's like, good God in heaven, like,
people need to
what is
grow
wrong
up.
with people?
But keep in mind, this is their belief. So their belief is what caused this. Imagine that. So one more, May 29th, 2024, ladies and gentlemen, on the website here, California man charged with hate crime for physical attack on an Asian American woman while hurling racial slurs. And it happens all the time. Some of this stuff's even been caught on camera.
Now that we have the cell phones and everything, that's the whole thing. I just wanted y'all to familiarize yourself with this. It's very
disgusting.
Informative.
Absolutely disgusting.
To know, at least.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, this came in also. Tammy sent me this. Love, not hate. 6 principles of nonviolence. Part 5. And I'm going to do this as fast as I can, guys, because we're losing time. You guys, all of this stuff that you see here is in the description of my video here tonight. So what you can do is go click that if you want to see it in its entirety. But here it is. Again, right here, love, not hate, 6 principles of nonviolence, part 5.
Yeah, you can just watch the video, guys, on this one. It really, it will help you to understand, how people think, why they think what they do. And I mean to tell you, I love our group because every one of you have something good to say, and you're always encouraging to one another. when we have some hateful talks that comes into the chat, it's like we surround each other like a big invisible cloak. And I feel very loved in this community that we're building. And that's what can spread. And I think it's such a wonderful thing, you guys, that the way that you are so humble and so
respectful,
above it all, above all the BS, above the BS is what I'd say. You know how far you have to stick your neck out there on the chopping block, and that's what we need more of. If they want this racial division, they want this economic division, they want us against each other. They do not want the unity and the love and the village mentality.
Correct. They want to keep us divided. Absolutely.
What was the first thing they did when they came and settled these lands? What is the first thing they did? What do you think about society?
Man, you're going to pick my brain, and I used to know the answer to this, but right now I'm on a brain fart.
What did they do? What did they do to them?
Yeah.
And that's my heritage. That's a big chunk of who I am when I go down my bloodline. So, listen, they came in and they committed genocide in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't stopped. Slavery didn't stop. Prison is a modern day slavery. The only people that can stop it are us, and we are the majority. We just need to wake up. We need to get what they call woke.
Right.
Everybody needs to get
absolutely.
Woke and
well, why do you think they were trying to attempt to shut down TikTok? Yeah, same thing.
Exactly. Because you can go on there and tell the whole truth.
Orphan Annie said this to both me and you, Tammy. How did you and Tammy meet? That's a great question.
Well, TikTok.
I guess I can answer it unless you want to.
Did you hear me? I said TikTok.
Yeah, I met her actually on that wonderful thing called TikTok, and we've been friends ever since.
We met through another advocate that I'm not so highly.
Yeah, found out that she was totally something else, hiding herself.
Well, him too.
Yeah, both.
All three of them.
Yep. All right. I'm out of time. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these comments out as much as I can here. Yep. Thank you, Orphan. I appreciate you. Curtis said exactly. And then Curtis said, listen, I agree with everyone. Absolutely. And again, there's no obligation to, but we try to bring facts and truth to the table, and Kurt and everybody knows that. So, Tammy, did you have anything in closing arguments?
No, just want to tell you all how very much I love you, and how much we're going to get through this together.
Absolutely.
We're going to build so many villages. They're going to go, what just happened? They're going to turn around in about 5 years from now, and they're going to go,
thank you, Wanda.
What in the world did these people do to our gold mines? That's what they're going to do. They're going to go, where did all the gold mines go? And we're going to go, oop, epiphany, guess what? When you don't enslave people, they can be something.
Yeah.
They can contribute.
Congratulations to Wanda. She said, oh, my newest grandbaby made her appearance yesterday. Congratulations. Yay. That's awesome. Welcome to the world. Is it a boy or a girl? Thank you, nonetheless, Wanda, for that information. That's awesome. Congratulations. Welcome.
Oh, that's
so with that being said, before I close out with this, I want to update you guys. I know I already put it in the community tab on my channel. As you guys can see, I've been doing a lot of stuff on my channel lately. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to stay more active on it, but time is always an issue with me. But nonetheless, I want to let you guys know that on June 20th of this month, I'm really hoping that you guys can be a part of it. Tammy and I and so many other people that get involved are going to be doing a celebration of 6 years being on YouTube. That's correct. Back in June 20th of 2018, believe it or not, is when I started this podcast. And I've been on ever since, through the thick and thin. I've been through the ringer with this thing, and look at me now. So I want to give a major shout out to every one of you that made this a very epic podcast. To all the new subscribers, I'm almost at 7,000 subscribers. So whatever it is that you guys are doing is working. And thank you so much for putting me out there and showing your love and respect. I appreciate that. Because without you guys, this podcast technically wouldn't exist. And I love and respect every single one of you. So I love you, Tammy. I love you, Curtis. Love you, Orphan. Love you, Trey. Love you, Wanda, and everybody else that's in the chat that I can't see. You guys are great. Thank you so much for showing your love and respect right here on this channel. We got some big things coming down the pike, and I want you guys to be part of it. So coming up June 20th will be basically a 2-hour special, believe it or not, of a celebration of being on YouTube for 6 years straight. And I want you guys to be part of it because there's going to be a little bit of a contest involved, and whoever wins or becomes the person that can, basically become the number one winner will win a prize directly from me. I can't tell you what it is. So if you guys do everything right by the book and become the winner, you will get that prize. So you have to tune in. It's basically going to be a, test or pick your brain game. And I want to see how smart you guys are. So I'll have a series of questions to see if you guys can answer them. And whoever gets all of them right wins. What do you think about that, Tammy?
Well, okay. And we'll see which one of them gets it, but I'm telling you.
You got it. You're
smart people. So no, I'm not going to include myself in that. We're going to let everybody else out in the chat have it that one because I think that's only fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not for me, nor is it for really the people that get up on the panel and much. It's for the people in the chat.
Yeah,
it's
let's
just
do it for the chat.
Little game show.
We have a lot of very, very, very smart people in our group. So
it's a little girl.
I think they're all brilliant. All brilliant.
Yes, absolutely. Wanda said it's a little girl. Congratulations, Wanda. Let them know. Welcome to the world, sweetheart. All right. Curtis said, but we need to reverse all unconstitutional laws. 110%. I agree with you, Kurt. Absolutely. And Trey said, Wanda, the grandmama. Thank you. Thank you, Trey, for that. And then Wanda said, love you guys.
Trey, on that, with the unconstitutional laws, I would like all of us to take our own time. If you can carve out a little time, I would love for us to have a discussion on it one night.
Absolutely.
But how come it is that we have international laws for certain things like prisoners of war or different type of humanitarian treatment of peoples? But here in the United States, we have more prisons than the rest of the world, and we're out dictating to everybody else how they should treat their people. But yet we have a high homeless population because of all the incarcerated and mentally ill people that we refuse to treat here.
Yeah.
Like human beings. So I would encourage everybody, if you want to look up, those international laws and see how many of the laws there we're breaking along with our own constitutional laws.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can pick a fight someday that's going to really amount to something.
And that's what we need. We just need more people that have the same mindset on it. And
I'm prepping.
Yep.
I'm prepping for that fight.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yep. We're getting there, guys. We're going to get there. Tammy, thank you, hon. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you.
We always go over.
And everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for being here. I got to get out of here, obviously. I'm going to have a busy weekend, but nonetheless, I'll keep you guys updated on everything if everything happens, and we'll go from there. With that said, I'm your host, Jay. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this show. With that said, I will see you guys on the next one. Good night, everybody.